We just turned $300 into $3,000 through social media marketing. Don't believe me? Well, check this out. This small business asked us to manage his Facebook ads. We spent $350 in Facebook ads and they generated $3,700 in return. That's a 10 times return on ad spend. Social media marketing is one of the best ways to market your business online. But interestingly enough, most people don't have a clue what social media marketing really is. So I'm going to take some time in this video to fully define and answer the question of what is social media marketing? Hi, my name is Sherman, and today I'm going to show you in one video what I wish I knew years ago. Not only am I going to define what social media marketing is, but I'm also going to tell you why it's so important for small to mid-sized companies and discuss the key question that you'll need to answer in order to set your social media marketing strategy. You may be wondering, can social media marketing really work for my business? And after watching this video, I promise you that you will never have to ask that question again. So if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on other actionable videos like this one. And please hit the like button on this video if you receive any value from what I'm about to say. Now, let's begin. Your customers are on social media every single day, and it's not going away anytime soon. If you don't adapt the new normal of marketing, you may find your business on the decline, or even worse, out of business. You can leverage social media marketing to prevent this and spark new growth in your business. So what is social media marketing? Put simply, social media marketing is the process of promoting your business to potential customers through social media platforms. However, to be truly successful, you have to promote the interests of your customers more than your business itself. But don't worry, we'll dig into what that means here in a second. Now, there are many variations of social media marketing, and it's important that you understand the difference between each of them. The original component of social media marketing is referred to as social media management. Social media management is the process of creating and publishing content across social media channels like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Pinterest. It involves setting your social media accounts and posting relevant content to your pages. The goal of this function is to reach your target audience and build trust through posting engaging content. The idea is that over time, the people who frequently engage with your content are more likely to do business with you. Now, engagement represents positive reactions that people have when they see your brand, and at high frequencies, it builds undeniable trust in your business. For more information on this, check out my video on what is social media management. Another component of social media marketing is social media advertising. Social media advertising is the process of advertising on social media platforms to direct traffic to an external destination, like your website. For example, on Facebook and Instagram, these ads often appear in the newsfeed as sponsored posts. On Twitter, they appear as promoted tweets. On Pinterest, they appear as promoted pins. Regardless of the platform, social media advertising allows you to reach virtually anyone and gain immediate exposure. So now that we've defined social media advertising, you may be wondering, what's the point of this? Why is this so important for me? You may also be wondering, does this even work? Trust me, I get it. So let's go ahead and dive into why social media marketing is so important today. This is why every business needs to use social media marketing if they want to stay in business. Let's start with the obvious. Number one, your customers are already on there. We're not going to underestimate the impact of this. There's 2 billion people that use social media every day. There's only 7 billion people in the whole world. There's not much more that has been adopted more in our society than social media itself. And those 2 billion people are using social media for at least 3 to 4 hours per day. It's not some television show or short car ride. They're spending a large part of their day in life on social media. If we assume that people sleep 8 hours per day, leaving us with 16 hours to work with, that means people spend 25% of their awakened day on social media. And by the time their life is over, that equates to a quarter of their life spent on social media. If your customers are spending a quarter of their time doing anything, I don't care what it is, you probably want to be around that thing, regardless of what it is, right? And right now, social media is that thing. So get on there as soon as possible. But before I ramble, let's move on to my next point. Number 2, it's inexpensive. The cost to reach 1,000 people on social media is much cheaper than traditional forms of advertising like print, mailers, and television. You can spend $10 on Instagram ads and reach 1,000 people, while $10 in the traditional world might buy you a handshake and a good old-fashioned come back and see us when you're ready. Because that's not buying you anything anywhere else, let's be honest. In all seriousness, social media is so inexpensive because of the sheer volume of people using it and the lack of advertisers that are taking advantage of it. But every day, that's changing. More and more advertisers are using social media to grow their business. And as a result, advertising costs have been rising slightly over the last few years. Sooner or later, I believe social media advertising will be considered expensive and traditional advertising will be considered cheaper because of how ineffective it is and how little it will be used soon. But that doesn't matter right now. What matters is that you start building your social media presence now so you can take advantage of low costs and build your brand instead of playing catch up later. Number 3, it's highly targeted. Outside of being the new cool way of advertising, the data that social media giants have on its users is what really makes their advertising better than most alternatives. Seriously, they may know more about their users than some people know about themselves. They know what you like and dislike. They know if you're married or single. They know exactly where you work and where you live. They also know what businesses you're visiting, what foods you like, and so much more. It's insane how much they know about you. Some people believe they are even dissecting your conversations and private messages with your friends and family through Facebook Messenger, and also tracking your location when you're using their Facebook mobile app, for example. There's so much more to this. But the point is, the data is being used by advertisers to target ads at people who are most likely to be interested in what you offer. For example, let's say you sell dog accessories. You can run an advertising campaign that targets adults over 25 years of age that are women who are interested in dogs. For example, this level of precision is what makes social media marketing so unique. It allows brands to connect with people who are the most interested in things related to their products and services. Now, I can go on and on about the reasons why social media marketing is a must for businesses. I could tell you about how it builds trust. I could tell you how trust influences people to buy your products. Or how about the fact that brands can engage in two-way conversations with their customers like never before and deepen their customers' affection for their brands. But if you want to learn more about that type of stuff, then please watch my video on what is social media management. I dive into that in great detail. But for now, the reality is that social media is a must. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. And your customers are already on there. Your business may be extinct if you don't figure out how to connect with your customers on social media. Okay, so we talked about what, we talked about why. Now let's talk about how to get started with social media marketing. Let's talk about strategy and the biggest thing you need to think about when it comes to your business's social media marketing strategy. Now here's the big question. You need to determine something very critical right now. And it's the answer to this question. Do you want to build a brand on social media, or do you want to run an advertising campaign? Do you want something that you can invest in for maximal returns in the future? Or are you itching for leads and sales right now? Do you value relationships and reputation? Or do you want to bypass all of that and get straight to conversion? Your answers to these questions will ultimately determine your social media marketing strategy and ultimately influence your results. Now let's discuss the difference. Starting out with the most popular answer I typically get to these type of questions, which I describe as overnight success. When it comes to advertising, most people want the quickest route to success, and I get it. Our society is in love with instant gratification. We need results right now, and we need it yesterday, Sherman, you might say. If you buy into this philosophy, then I'm gonna tell you right now, social media advertising is the strategy for you. Short-term advertising provides immediate traffic to your website. It skips all of the likes and followers jargon, and honestly, it's kind of ran like a big math equation that's actually quite simple. In short, you need to drive a bunch of website traffic to your website, then a small percentage of that traffic will convert into leads and sales if your product is viable and those ads are effective. At a high level, this boils down to running a bunch of different quality ads with videos and stellar photos, setting up proper follow-up mechanisms like retargeting and email follow-ups, and then over time, optimizing those ads using performance data to generate a ton of traffic, leads, and sales. If you want to learn how to do this, then subscribe to our channel and you will likely find more helpful information on this very soon. Okay, now here's the thing. Many businesses run their advertising this way, but it's important that you understand the underlying risk of this approach. The risk is that your success is at the mercy of external factors like advertising costs and competition that will impact your overall profitability. It's normally not a matter of can this work or can social media ads work. It's more so a matter of will I be profitable at the end of the day when this works? To be successful at any type of advertising, you have to spend less to acquire a customer than the price of your products. If you spend $500 to acquire a customer that only pays you $100, you're likely going to spin your way out of business. And even if you are successful, with rising competition and ad costs, it may not be successful and scalable for the long term. When that stops happening, your strategy is doomed. So what am I saying? I'm saying that social media advertising is a great way to grow your business, but you should not rely on it for the long term. It's simply not scalable for anyone but the advertising giants themselves, like Facebook, Google, and so on. Now, let's discuss the alternative, building a brand. Building a brand is invaluable. When your company is popular and trusted, you can eventually sell products and services without being at the mercy of advertising. The problem is, it takes so long to build a brand on social media, and it takes a lot of work. You have to give enormous amounts of value to your audience so they can recognize you as a thought leader and ultimately someone that they trust in your area of expertise. And when that happens, they'll listen to what you're trying to sell them. When done correctly, your brand reputation will be an asset that you can leverage for the life of your business, not just for a single ad promotion. You can build your brand reputation through social media management. You can post valuable content that delights people and builds trust. In order to do this, you need to set up a well-designed social media profile, post helpful content, and make sure that people who need that help sees your content. So what's the answer to this magic question? We have building a brand on one side, and then we have this advertising campaign on the other side. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want to know my opinion, I think you should do both. Build your brand on social media while also taking advantage of advertising campaigns to deliver short-term success while you can. Now, let's quickly summarize the content of this video. We first discussed what is social media marketing. Remember, social media marketing is the process of promoting your business to potential customers through social media platforms. We also discussed the two types of social media marketing: social media management and social media advertising. Now, remember, social media management is all about building your brand through creating, publishing, and promoting content across social media channels. Now, social media advertising, on the other hand, focuses on promoting advertisements to drive traffic to external destinations such as your website. We also talked about why is social media marketing so important. There are endless reasons, but if I had to give my top 3, it would be these facts. Your customers are on there, it's inexpensive, and it's highly targeted, period. There's no question on if you should be on social media. Now, what is the key question you need to answer before you build and set your social media strategy? The biggest question is, are you interested in building a brand or running a short-term advertising campaign? There's a lot of pros and cons to both. And ultimately, I think it's best to do both, but you need to be clear on what you're trying to accomplish. That's all for today, folks. If you gathered anything helpful from this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Talk to you soon.